Hey, this is Brian.
And Shelby.
And you're listening to the Hyperspace
Pod Blast. Aren't you a little short for a podcast?
Huh?
Welcome to Hyperspace Pod Blast.
Perfect. We should just do that from now on. That was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Scratch the opening. That's it.
Yeah.
Right there.
Forget this trying to figure out goofy things to say every week. Nailed it. So anyway, hi everyone, and welcome to Hyperspace Pod Blast, where this week we'll be discussing solo character swap. Yeah, this is like a new tradition, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, an old tradition. It's the thing we've done the most, besides, generically talk about movies, which you do after every new movie comes out. But this is our long-running third character swap edition. Amazing.
It's basically required now.
Yeah, I think so. I think we have to quit if we don't do it. So what do you got? What's your first character swap? Should we start with the main swap, the swap everyone's talking about, the Val Beckett swap?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm down for the Val Beckett swap.
Yeah, I really don't think that would have made one iota of difference. I think the idea, or at least what I think I'd read somewhere before the movie even came out, that Beckett was like a pseudo father figure for Han.
You just get to choose if you want daddy issues or mommy issues.
Yeah. And there's like one almost throwaway line about how his dad used to make these, and Beckett's there, I think. But I mean, other than that, I don't feel like they weren't together long enough for him to have any kind of real.
I view that as a very father figure kind of.
I feel like it's more of a
I felt
scoundrel role model than a father figure.
I don't know. I thought he was kind of like a dad to Han. I don't think they played it hard enough that like they needed to develop it a little bit more, but I think that was the intention.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe you're right. But to make it that you couldn't easily swap it, I think they had to do way more.
Yeah, but I think Val would have been a great swap with Beckett, because I'm still salty about Val's death.
Yeah, I mean, I would have missed Woody Harrelson. It would have been the same kind of like, why did they waste that character? But still, it could have been, for sure, a more interesting, diverse choice not to do it.
You get to choose which untimely death you want.
Yeah. Well, on that, let's break the mold here and do a plot swap.
Okay.
Because I really liked what you said, I think it was a couple episodes ago, where you would swap out Val being a sacrifice for being like a betrayer.
Yeah, I like the idea of her kind of being in league with Enfys Nest. Not that, I mean, there's two ways you could go with this. You could go that she sympathized with the cause, which would make her quote-unquote sacrifice a little more believable.
Right.
Because it's more like for the cause, not for my friends getting money.
Right. If she was sacrificing to, like, I don't know, do something that would help Enfys Nest win instead of do the plan that Beckett and etc. had decided on.
Yeah, that would make more sense. But then I also like the idea of her not really doing it for a cause, but just that Enfys Nest got to her and was like, we'll split it.
Yeah, definitely.
If you help me out.
And then you just do away with the whole sacrifice part.
Yeah.
Which I don't know.
I'm just not into it, yeah. I'm not down for her being Enfys Nest's mother.
No.
I don't like that tiny universe stuff. But I like the idea of her being in cahoots.
Yeah, I mean,
whether it's for the cause or for her own benefit, I like both.
If she was Enfys Nest's mom, wouldn't she be Enfys Nest?
Exactly. Exactly. That's why it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I like the whole idea of the passing it down and not them being infiltrating spy people, more that they're, I don't know, I view her as kind of like a female Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Where she's not necessarily robbing from the good people to give to the poor, or the rich people rather, not the good people, but she's robbing from the other robbers to give to the needy, I guess. But it's a very interesting thing. But yeah, I think just something has to happen with Val. If that was, I don't know.
I also like the idea of Beckett being an alien instead. But then again, that probably would have just crowded Chewie a little too much.
I mean, everyone else is a human, and there's Chewie and L3. I think the cast could have supported two aliens. That would have been cool.
Maybe a Rhodian.
You and your Rhodians.
I love them. Don't judge me.
And no, I mean, that makes sense, though, because they're always portrayed as this sort of scoundrel-esque
Yeah.
group of people, which obviously they're not, but it would have played well with regular Star Wars fans, I think. Regular not mean derogatory, just by the way.
The regular guys. Jeez, Brian.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, any kind of original trilogy Alien would have been awesome. And
How about
I'm
a
always
Gran?
down for that. What?
I said, how about a Gran?
Yo, I'm in. I love those guys. It would have been funny to pair him there with the new, like, even more eyes guy.
Yeah. Speaking of alien swaps, I didn't even realize that Dryden Voss was an alien.
Yeah, I
thought he was just like, I don't know, got into an accident or something.
Yeah, he looks like he has stretch marks on his face.
That's true.
It's like he had a tiny little head and just grew really fast or something. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and people are talking about how his eyes glow or something.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on any. I thought he was just a
dude with
I
don't
got
know,
the crap knocked out of him to get to where he was.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that one. I would love to make him a very obvious alien.
An obvious alien.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like the idea of Dryden being a woman.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think that would have changed the whole Kira-Dryden dynamic.
Well, yeah, and how that could have been, they could have played that off of the whole Han's father figure, Kira's mother figure thing.
Yeah. That would have been a very neat dynamic.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't really, like we said before, make that a very obvious thing, but they could have. Like, that could have been another now infamous plot swap.
Plot swap.
But yeah, that would have been cool. I actually hadn't even thought about that. I was just stuck on him being an alien.
Plus, it would have like given this more, I don't know, more like a gang of women feel, which I would have been very into.
Mm-hmm.
Women doing not so great things.
Yeah, like it would have been like, you would have thought it was ladies versus ladies, bad guy style, until you find out later that Enfys Nest isn't actually a bad guy. Of course, you don't know she's a lady until you find out she's not a bad guy. So, But still, would have been cool for sure. But definitely an actual alien and not this
pseudo
near human
it's
stretch mark face
really,
alien.
Yeah, which I didn't even realize that those were all like CGI'd in, which is
that's pretty impressive actually. Because
I had no idea.
Yeah, I just assumed he sat down for makeup for that because
I mean I'm extremely impressed with that.
Mm-hmm.
Which also I want to be like, was that worth it?
Right, I know.
But whatever.
Why don't you just CGI him as an alien?
Yeah.
Instead of not quite an alien.
Not quite an alien.
I don't know. It's like playing a half elf. I kind of wanted to be something different. I just want to be a human with pointy ears.
Fair.
Actually, that would have been even better than stretch mark face. It was just look like Spock. Like half trolling Star Wars fans. They made a character
that would have tickled me, honestly.
Man, I hope they do that at some point. That'd be really funny. And just like even put him in a blue shirt.
Black pants.
Yeah, just legitimately looks like Spock. And no one says anything. The people would be like, is it just me? Or nope, nothing like Spock. Carry on. Oh.
Brian's wish list, everyone.
I know, right? I want, even though I hate Star Trek, I want Star Wars fans to get trolled by a Star Trek character in Star Wars.
You have interesting desires.
I really do. That's true. So what about the big cameo? I know you liked it.
I liked it, and you can fight me.
I will later, and I will win. But
no, I liked Maul. I liked Maul. I think it's interesting. I agree that it's difficult for the, as you like to say, regular fan.
Wow.
Or someone who's not watching the Clone Wars would be.
Yeah, I mean,
would be confused. I mean, oh well. I feel like you have so many instances of things like that you don't understand who somebody is in, say, the Marvel Universe if you're not reading comics or...
Well, yeah, I think we talked about this. I don't remember if it was in an episode or just to
us
each
talking,
other.
Yeah. I don't... Those lines have been blurred so,
I know,
so much
right?
now. I don't even know if we have sat in front of a microphone when we have conversations about Star Wars.
Yeah, we should just start doing that every time.
Yeah.
Just not record it, but yeah, just come back here and sit down, talk to each other. Anyway, but yeah, I agree. There's oftentimes we'll leave a Marvel movie and I'll text my brother who is a huge Marvel fan and I'll be like, yo, what's this mean? And then he tells me. But if I just was patient, the next movie usually explains it because they don't really expect people to have this vast comic. It's like a nod to those people that then they tell everyone else later. It's like for a little while, those people are in on something. Mm-hmm. But with this, there's very good chance Maul will never be in another Star Wars movie again.
You never know.
Yeah, you do never know. But there's still, I think, a very good chance.
But the swap that you would make,
I
already
have 4.
know. Oh.
I have 4 potential better
you
than Maul
that
swaps.
much. There we go.
Thank you very much.
That's what I thought.
He should be dead. Anyway, my first one is Jabba the Hutt, which we already talked about. I think that would have been awesome. I think that would have got a gasp from the entire room instead of the couple of people that were like, oh, that's Maul. And then the people are like, oh, what was that? But then my second one is he could have been a Faline or Falline. I don't know how you pronounce Star Wars things. The Black Sun people, the green aliens. That would have been really cool because then it would have been like maybe this is a fallout between Black Sun and one of their members. So he started his own group, or maybe the Black Sun is just actually controlling this group. They're like a separate sect of them. Maybe Black Sun is the umbrella corporation. They have all these trickle down different groups. I don't know. But that would have been cool because that would have been a really nice nod for the Clone Wars people or the other Legends people. But then it doesn't make a big deal and confuse the movie only fans. So I think that would have been dope. And third, this one is going to blow you away. You ready?
Okay.
So you know how...
I just had a thought of someone that I would swap in. But anyway,
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm going to keep it to myself.
No, don't keep it to yourself.
Until you
tell us later. But yeah, let me keep rolling. But anyway, you know how Kira says when Han asks, like, how did you get out or something like that? And she says, I didn't. What if it was Lady Proxima?
Oh my God.
What
Actually,
if that was like the White Worms were her like garbage group that she made do all the crappy things while she was also doing this whole Crimson Dawn thing.
I like this concept a lot.
Right? Wouldn't that be cool? And that's why she didn't get out. She just moved up.
Yeah.
And now she took out Stretch Mark Face and she's directly under Lady Proxima now. That would be cool.
I like this.
Just because I want more Lady Proxima. She's awesome.
She was great. I feel like, yeah, we need more of her. And your fourth?
My fourth was, it was a joke. It was anyone but Maul. So.
Oh my gosh.
What was your actual answer?
It just came to my mind, and I'm not sure if this works out timeline wise. So correct me if I'm making a canon faux pas.
I will. I'll push up my glasses and make a eye rolly face.
What if it was like Hondo?
I think that would work for sure.
Yeah?
Because Hondo exists both before and after it. So, and that would be awesome because heck yes, Hondo.
Yeah.
So
I mean, would that be too cheesy, too corny?
Heck no. It's no cornier than Maul.
Okay.
Especially when he lights his saber for no reason. And then just
I
turns
have
it
this
off.
lightsaber. Yeah. Let's be real. If you had a lightsaber, you would just play with it all the time.
Not if I was someone that always had one. Like if someone gave me one right now, yeah. Anytime I was on the phone, like FaceTime, I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" I would just wave with it. It would be like a part of my arm. But yeah.
But Hondo, a knockout.
Hondo is a fantastic choice. He had not even entered the radar. And see, that's another one that would have been a nod to the Clone Wars / Rebels group. Mm-hmm. But also people would have been like, "Oh, cool. That guy looks neat."
I don't know what kind of alien he is. Has that ever
He's
been
a
on
Weequay, I think.
Have they ever been on screen?
Mm-hmm. They're in Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Their job is
okay.
sail bargey people. And there's
I
some
knew
in
you'd
his...
know because you love aliens.
That's true.
But I think that would be a great swap.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I dislike Maul, but I think that would be great because also then that adds in that comedic element. But maybe that was not needed at that very serious moment.
Come on, man. He could have held back on
the cheese.
Yeah, I mean, he can be serious. He's a lot more serious in the Clone Wars than he is in Rebels. So,
and again, if we hadn't had Maul come into the fold here, if I had suggested Hondo, you would have been like, well, they never would put a character like that in a movie.
True.
But now it's more believable to you, which I'm actually really thankful for.
I know. I wrestle with this really hard because they blew my mind when they did that. Because that's such an out there connection.
It opens up a lot of possibilities.
It really does.
I will say, it makes things feel more important in the expanded universe.
Right. I mean, it's sort of what they did with Saw, but Saw was like, okay, they won't know before, and I didn't know he was going to die, but obviously it doesn't matter who he is after. But with Maul, it shakes up people's perception, I think, which is why I struggle with it. Like, I love the fact that they added him because of what you said. Yeah, it gives more weight to the expanded content. But at the same time, it gives more weight because it took a really big wrench that weighed a lot and it threw it at him.
I'm trying to think of other pirates that would be good to swap in there. Vizago, he doesn't feel like big enough of a fish.
Yeah, he's definitely small fish.
Yeah.
And Hondo's so in and out of things, and
I feel like that would be
I think that would be perfect.
Realistic.
Yeah. Because they could easily just explain that, it all fall apart like a year later.
What if it's Saw? You just brought up Saw.
Now, that would be interesting, but I don't see him being that kind of criminal.
He's not above using the help of those kinds of criminals.
That's true,
for
but
his
I don't think he would be like the emergency button call. You know what I mean? I could see them working together for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think he's above any kind of, he's the epitome of the end justifies the means. I just don't think, he wouldn't be the bat signal for those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all in on Hondo. That's a good one. Very good one. Hashtag anyone but Maul. Anyway,
Get out of your system.
Yeah, I'm done. We'll move on. In fact, we'll move on to something else. I would switch to an alien, and that would be L3.
Oh, but that changes everything.
That changes a small part about the whole Navicomputer business.
Well, that, and also, why would an alien be advocating for droid?
They wouldn't be. They would be advocating for alien rights because the Empire are humanist jerkbags.
Yeah.
So, and I think that would be more relatable to the real world.
I think so.
I did like the point that Dave brought up with his blog you can check out on the website. Shameless plug. But
on our own
podcast.
It's not really a shameless plug. But that's okay. Continue.
About how the whole droid rights thing may become an issue in the future, but I don't know. Maybe it's me being cynical, which is very common. But I don't think we're ever going to get to the point where we have droids the way that the Star Wars universe has droids. Our droids are always going to be machines made for a function. They're going to be like that arm that solders things as it comes by on the assembly line. There's just going to be bigger and better and more. I don't think they're ever going to be really...
Oh, I think they will.
You do?
You
think we're actually
do.
going to... I see. I don't think that's ever going to be a thing.
I think that we will get... They won't have the spontaneity that droids do in Star Wars, and have that true ability for creative thought.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they'll be able to do the functions that they do. The translation, the making coffee, all of that stuff.
Maybe.
I mean, Alexa is if Alexa was able to make coffee, if you hooked her up into your coffee machine, they could tell you where the beans were from and all of that stuff.
Probably, because you would know.
Order it from Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. It would know where you ordered it from.
Give us money, Amazon.
I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those, I still don't have a hoverboard from Back to the Future 2.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure that was going to be real. And now maybe that's what killed everything for me. The fact that I don't have a hoverboard makes me not believe in anything.
I do like the concept of swapping droid rights for alien rights.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes more sense in the Star Wars universe, and it's also more relatable to us.
Right, exactly.
Considering they're organic beings.
Yeah, and it's
that, it's the idea of, you look very different from me, but yet we both live and breathe and that sort of thing.
Right, yeah, I think it would
Not that I can't make that leap into, sympathizing with droids and
yeah, no, I'm not saying the droids rights thing is bad by any means. It's just,
I think
it's harder for me to connect those two things. And I think, especially with a lot of what we're going through here in the U.S., the whole alien rights would be a pretty hot
But
button.
then again, maybe that's too on the nose.
Maybe.
But
I
like
don't know.
it.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. I'm just trying to get more aliens in this movie, honestly. Not that I dislike
that's usually
L3.
your thing.
Yeah, but I mean, we need a cool alien lady.
Yeah.
Boom. Aside from Lady Proxima, who is awesome.
You love her.
She's so cool.
I feel like that would be a good cameo in whatever animated series come out.
Yeah, or just some...
mentioning her, or honestly, having a mini comic would be neat.
Yeah.
Or even just like a animated short series.
Lady Proxima and the White Worms.
That's a great name.
I'm down. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's not the last we see of that species, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
hopefully they don't make a Zero type character of her.
Oh, come on. Why did you even?
'Cause I like to antagonize you.
You do. That's true. It's rude. So what else? Going through the movie, what can you think of that you would change character-wise? Is there anything else that jumps out at you? Or do you think we've covered it all? So I think I'm pretty solid.
What did you think about Rio?
Oh, I loved Rio. The only thing I would change about him is that he wouldn't die. But like we said before,
he has to.
He's the pilot. Han has to become the pilot. Like, those characters were unfortunately expendable from the word go. They all get replaced by other people.
Yeah.
Which is very disappointing. But
what do you think about Kira not being human?
I would be fine with that. That would be an interesting parallel to, I guess, both Rebels and, as long as she wasn't freaking Twi'lek. We can't have all the dudes getting down on some Twi'lek love.
Yeah.
But I was going to say a parallel to Rebels and
Last Shot.
Yeah, and it just dawned on me. I hadn't put it together that, oh, those are both dudes going after Twi'leks. What's going on here, Star Wars?
Alien rights.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's getting fishy. I guess they are one of the more
humanoid,
human-like
yeah,
aliens that you see females of. I mean, there's all kinds of, like, Hondo's species. I don't think, have we seen female versions? Probably. I feel like there were. I don't know. But there's...
But, I mean, I suggested it and I knew you'd like the idea.
Oh,
basically,
yeah,
you're
sure.
Down for any time someone's like, swap them with an alien.
What if Han Solo was an alien? That's a hard sell.
Sorry, can't get on board. Can't get on board.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the limiting factor in this movie, because unlike Rogue One,
I mean, you could swap so many people.
Yeah, you could pretty much do anything, because the known characters were cameos at best. I mean, Saw's a little higher up on the line than cameo, but still, the main group you could do all kinds of stuff with. I guess The Last Jedi was a little tougher, though there was a lot of new brought into where it was. But yeah, I think we made some good decisions. Definitely, no matter what, we're getting rid of Maul.
I think... I also think that what is the final planet that they're on?
I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Jeddah with a beach.
Yeah. I don't really like sand.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's just where Star Wars goes when they want something to be bleak. It's the desert.
Yeah. It was nice to have the ocean element.
Yeah.
And I guess, have we had... Well, Scarif was tropical.
Yeah. And like we said, there's that whole, where the I don't like sand part comes from when they're at the beach area in Naboo, which is, I think, maybe the only planet that has more than one biome. But anyway.
I think that I want some more greenery. I would swap that with a different planet that's more like dense forest, even though we've had Endor, but...
Yeah, that's about all we've had, really.
Yeah, and
Takodana. Oh, yeah, huh.
Which was more just kind of grassland.
Yeah, that was just, I don't know, a regular-looking planet.
And Octu, which was more like an island, kind of rocky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just would like something...
Yeah, we could do without so many desert environments. But I guess, like I said, it's just an easy way to be like, oh, it's really hard to live here.
But Solo did a good job at, like, the locations. The muddy
I like
battles,
their
the
dirty
snow.
Urban environment. That was cool.
Yeah, that was very nice.
But yeah, good stuff. Definitely wouldn't change out Corellia.
No.
That was great to get that on screen, even though some people don't really like the way it came out.
Oh, yeah? Huh.
Yeah, just because it's not compatible with their previous view of it. So it is what it is.
I didn't have a view.
Right, exactly. I didn't really, I'd read about it before, but it guess didn't leave an impression. I thought it was good. Very nice.
Yes. So if you have some swaps that you would like to share, make sure you let us know either on Twitter at hyperspace_pod.
Or you can email us at hyperspacepodblast@gmail.com.
Or if you have even more thoughts about it and want to write something.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. With the possibility to be featured on our website, hyperspacepodblast.com. Send that over.
There's a submission form right in the top. We another shameless plug, just published a article that we got actually way back in December, because it was supposed to email us if we got any submissions, but it didn't. And I happened to check it, and anyway, better late than never.
It's
But
a
it was
great
really
article.
good. Yeah, it was fun. And also, if you're in the mood for a little Star Wars audiobook, head on over to www.audibletrial.com/hyperspace, and you can get one free audiobook that is yours forever and ever, amen, and a 30-day free trial of Audible.
Awesome. Talk to you later, guys.
That's it. We'll see you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.